Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok. There's a link in the description below, and without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So, once again, here we are. It's September time. The significance being, once again, for those of you who don't see the literal chaos in the financial streets, is the rumors that the Fed is going to lower interest rates. We are, I believe, waiting for the 16th and 17th. I think those are the dates of September, once again, for some kind of a silver lining for all of this. All the banks are coming forward now and discussing and talking about where they think the market is going to go and their predictions. And that's one of the most popular news stories of the day. Citi's senior global economist, his name is Robert Saucon, suggested that the Fed could make a significant rate cut of up to 1.25 points by the end of this year. We recently heard from JP Morgan, Bank of America, I believe Fidelity, and two other corporation banks. They're all kind of the same, where the predictions are that in less than 2 weeks, there's going to be a rate cut in September, and then one in November, or one in September, one in November, one in December, and then around 2 over the course of next year as well. And now Citi's talking about 3, I believe this is supposed to be 3 cuts as well by the end of this year. The biggest portion of this is, like literally like holding your breath kind of thing. The expectations are that the markets right now are not doing too hot, and that a rate cut or 3 would basically propel all assets back up, allow companies to start hiring again, to have higher profits, to have more money to move around and slosh around, to keep the economy awesome, or whatever word people keep using. Speaking on the morning brief, Saucon discussed the current state of the U.S. economy, which is terrible for those of you who have for some reason not been paying attention, saying that the second quarter saw faster than expected growth, with GDP revisions showing a 3% increase, ahead of the 2.8 forecasted by economists. The idea being is if the GDP goes too low or isn't above the countries tend to say that they want above 2% every single year. 3 to 4% shows your country's like, whoa, you guys are booming. But a lot of these numbers are also faked and skewed, especially as we've been going over. And if you like I said, if you haven't seen it, I don't know how you've managed to do it. Look around for any videos on people like trying to find jobs who've been laid off by jobs, like no one's hiring. The jobless rate continues to go up, but even those numbers are also faked and also quite weird because it's done on a 6-month basis by people who are applying for benefits. So the economy is actually doing terribly bad. When you hear every single bank saying that the Fed needs to do something, it's not because the economy is doing absolutely wonderful and great and everything's okay. It's because things are really, really bad. Despite the positive growth data, I did some air quotes there, Saucon expressed concerns. What? Really? About potential economic risks as the year progresses. For those of you who don't know or haven't seen it, every economist has basically said if the Fed does not lower interest rates in the middle of September, remember that crazy drop that we had at the beginning of August? expect that, but like kind of double. Everyone assumes the Fed is going to do what they thought they should have done in July and actually lower interest rates. If there's no kind of respite anywhere in the immediate future, the market is going to come down even further, and it's basically going to make things a lot worse than they already are, which has then a lot of people calling for. This is why, for those also, why we're seeing everyone calling for 2 rate cuts, September and November. September's meant to be like a little bit of a push up, but November's meant to be like, okay, we can all relax a little bit more, because if not, we are expected to actually like nosedive into a recession, like a serious, terrible, horrible recession. A lot of economists are already saying that we are currently in a recession, but basically kind of like just floating on top of the water. Like we're in it, but it's not as bad as it could be if we don't see these rates fall. It says, while consumer spending remains strong, I'll get into that in a second, and the labor market is showing resilience, that's also a lie. He said recent data has missed expectations. Yeah, because they're all a lot lower than they actually should be, indicating a possible slowdown. Consumer spending is high. Can you guess why? One, because prices have risen across the board for all of these different companies. So they're actually showing year on year amazing profits in the food industry and anything else that people might be normally buying to literally, stay alive, that kind of thing. The other part is that there's been a dramatic rise in buy now, pay later, different types of websites and advertising and things like that. And this is what's keeping consumer spending a lot higher. People actually going into stores and buying stuff has been on the decline since around the 2005. There's been like a steady decline of people buying more things online or purchasing things online. So inside of actual stores, I'm certain you've seen the videos in California and New York and parts of Florida. These shops are closing down, like actual physical shops. So more people are shifting to digital e-commerce kinds of things. And the way that they're figuring out a way to do it is by basically telling you, well, the thing that you want to buy costs $178. I know you don't have it right now, but how does it sound over the course of 6 months? 12 payments? We'll even give you 24 payments. And then this is also causing e-commerce and consumer spending to pick up again, because people are doom spending. Yeah, for those of you who didn't see that before, Google DOOM spending. Yeah, people are, and I mean, it's mainly in the States at the moment. There's something called doom spending, where people assume economically that they're never going to be able to get ahead and or will be in the same exact economic positions forever. So basically, instead of saving or putting money away for a rainy day or rainy year, they are spending all of their money right now. It's a real thing, and it's one of the weirdest things in the entire world, because people have basically lost exceptional amounts of faith in the system. So you can, I'm telling you, find videos on it. It's the weirdest thing ever. There are a lot of people who are like making video. I'm not joking. They're making videos. I'm now 15,000 in debt, and it doesn't worry me one bit because I just bought this thing that I've always wanted to buy. I want to go on vacation. I'm tired of working, so I'm going to take off 2 weeks, and I'm going to do it on my credit card or this card or so-and-so. That $800 thing I wanted to buy, I'm going to buy it, and I'm buying it on credit. It's called doom spending. And it's because things have gotten so bad with the economy that this is kind of one of the only ways that we've been taught that, and people are trying to find happiness. For those of you who did not grow up in a very consumer-centric country, basically the way that it works is that you walk down the street and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of advertisements, or if you're driving, because, you know, that's also a thing. And basically, you're told that the only way to be happy by the smiling people in the ads is by buying something. And eventually, it kind of gets to you and you kind of just become a hyper consumer. The reason why the economy, or rather, I'll also give it to you this way. One of the main things for you to pay attention to in the future is whenever the economy is doing bad, and I mean like really bad, it's because people are trying to save their money. And then you are incentivized to spend your money because it's the only way to boost up the economy. The idea is for you to never actually have money in your bank account or to become rich or to be well off. You are meant to be a consumer and a worker because that's how the economy works. Crazy, right? Yeah, I know it's terrible when you hear it in words because it was always in the back of your head, but now you understand like why I'm like so adamant and trying to make sure that people like make money from the cryptocurrency market and invest, is that so you get out of that loop because you are meant to be a consumer. You are meant to buy. The City Economist's Surprise Index, which measures the performance of economic data reveal relative to estimates, fell sharply in the third quarter. Sawkins said that the Fed is in a difficult position of managing inflation and avoiding a recession because the moment they lower interest rates, inflation will also begin to go up again. I just saw something online 2 days ago where someone, I forgot what city it was, they were walking through the supermarket and I think milk was almost $8. What was the other thing? Oh gosh, it wasn't bread. Whatever. I have a photo on my phone. It doesn't matter. The other thing was $11 and like it should have been a solid $2.25, but that's the way that the economy is going. While the U.S. economy appears to be heading for a soft landing, he said the rise in the unemployment rate, currently at 4.3%, which is also skewed, those numbers aren't correct, could signal a more significant downturn. Yes, my friends, we have gotten to the time is how I'm going to reference it from now on. Basically, the time that we've been hearing about since around like March and April. Ooh, remember when the markets were going down and crypto was going down and everyone was like, hey, we're going to have 3 Fed rate cuts this year. Remember that? Because all the banks were like, hey, we need them now. We got to have some rate cuts and we still don't have any. So if we do not get the cuts that we need, we are going to see. What do I rhyme with that? Anyway, the point is, yeah, things aren't looking too hot. Everyone is talking about that we need rate cuts. If we don't get them, we're going to have a lot more problems than we currently have. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, this was popular. You'll see why it's popular. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it was incredibly popular. In a recent tweet, someone, I'm not joking, this is what it says. This is the kind of news that we get now. Someone called XRP Avengers, sparked a debate within the digital asset community by expressing a long-term optimistic outlook on the price of XRP, the native cryptocurrency of Ripple Labs. XRP Avengers boldly predicted that while many investors may sell their holdings, once the price of XRP goes between 10 to 50 US dollars, they intended to hold their assets until XRP surpasses 100 US dollars. So I'm going to ask all of you and be completely honest. At what point, what price do you plan on selling your XRP? Be honest. Is it $1? Is it $3? Is it $10? A lot of people think it's going to $10 to $15. I told you all before, I personally believe we are probably going to see a $15 to $20, $25 XRP. However, I've noticed on the twits, for some reason, I'll put it to you this way. A lot of people are growing like more tribally bullish than I thought ever actually possible. A lot of people who like Cardano are now talking about they won't sell their Cardano until it's between 20, 50, 60, $70. I'm seeing the same exact thing for Ethereum for some reason. People are talking about like 20, 30,000 and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm seeing the same. I mean, but Bitcoin is kind of always there. Bitcoin's always I'm not selling till $1 million, like that kind of crowd. But yeah, for some reason, people are extra bullish and they're talking about not selling until it's over $100. I saw a couple people say 1,000 US dollars. And I mean, so first of all, if we can be completely honest, the jumps and hurdles that XRP would have to jump and hurdle through to get to $1,000 are quite spectacular. But if that's their prerogative, then, you know, we can't say otherwise. Very popular. I don't even have to go through the entire thing. Basically, it's about people arguing online, talking about where they think XRP's price is going to go to. A lot of people plan on holding between $10 to $50. Some are going for $100 to $1,000. And I sincerely hope that it works. I really mean that. I hope you get to a $1,000 XRP and you literally are able to buy several islands and do whatever you want for the rest of your life. Popular news. Cool. So I would recommend, and I'll say this now, you should all have a number for your risk tolerance kind of thing, as far as if you plan on selling some of your portfolio, you should have a number as to when you feel comfortable doing so. It's very important because a lot of people, similar to last cycle and the cycle before that and the cycle before that, people don't have numbers as to when they think they would like to exit a position, and they kind of think that the coin will go up forever. And then they realize that their money's not going up forever because the price begins to fall back down. And then they go, I should have sold at that price. And it's like, you should start setting all of those right now. That's XRP Avengers, $10 to $50 to $100 per XRP. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, I thought this was a joke, but then I read it again. Franklin Templeton has filed for approval of a crypto index ETF under the symbol, and I saw the letters and I was like, Ezapez. Then I was like, nope, that also doesn't make any sense. And then I realized where it was coming from. In US speak, under the letters easy peasy. For those of you who are not native speakers and don't understand what easy peasy is, it kind of means as easy as possible. It's as easy as can be. So for kind of when we say see you later, alligator, after a while, crocodile, we just like making things rhyme. So Franklin Templeton has filed for a crypto ETF called Easy Peasy. Yay. According to Nate Gerasi, co-founder and president of the ETF Institute, the ETF would initially hold Ethereum and Bitcoin. He pointed out that adding more digital assets would require further regulatory approval. There have been a number of companies over the course of the last few months who are applying for new ETFs in some sort of way. Cool. I don't really know what else to say here except for this is number 16 over the course of the last couple of weeks. Everyone keeps applying. For those of you who missed it, a lot of them were withdrawn, pulled back. The ETFs for for Solana are basically a no-go within the US. So everyone's mainly focusing on Ethereum and Bitcoin, but they're also trying to make futures ETFs and options and this and all these other things. And it's cool. I hope you get it. Question mark. I don't really know. Cool. That's the Franklin Templeton has applied for a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. They're probably not going to get it. I don't know. Another company tried before to have a mixed ETF, and the SEC just didn't want it. Also, please stop living under this illusion that the SEC is going to get better if Gary Gensler is not there. I don't know who keeps brainwashing all of you, but you really got to stop. This is how I know that so many people are brand new into the space, is because you forgot who the head of the SEC was before, and then who the head of the SEC was before that. Their purpose is to uphold the strength of the US dollar and not to push cryptocurrencies, as so many people just seemingly don't understand. But yeah, whoever takes over after Gary Gensler is also going to be a monster. It's always the same. Stop. Anyway. Yeah. Cool. Franklin Templeton. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Also in the news, Jupiter, a decentralized exchange aggregator, has warned users of a new malware packaged as a Chrome-based extension called Bull Checker. It was advertised to serve the purpose of showing all the holders of any meme coin. Solana-based decentralized finance users who installed the extension reported having their assets stolen. As Jupiter's user base interacting with the Solana DeFi ecosystem voiced similar incidents, it dug deep to find the source of the hacks. In a Twitter post, it revealed the findings. After extensive investigation, we have identified a malicious Chrome extension called Bull Checker that had targeted users on several Solana-related subreddits. Those behind the extension advertised the malicious product on Reddit, luring users by claiming to make thousands of dollars with it. I'm going to say this as nice as possible, then we're going to move on. I keep trying to warn everyone, and it makes me sad when people lose money over something that could have been avoided. Be careful where you put your money in the space. I ask you, as always, to please not only, yes, do your own research, like as much as you possibly can. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't just click on random links that someone is giving you. They're probably a scam. If you are going to download something, double and triple check it, like where it came from. Usually people have like an actual like GitHub where they tell you like that this is actually real or something that is actually fake. Find their Twitter. Find their like real social media that has a check that says, hey, we released this thing on this date, before you click on something, because this is a constant problem in the cryptocurrency space, and it's becoming a gigantic problem with Solana. Nearly every single day, there's some kind of a Solana scam, and I can only say the word Solana as many, and I know this is, people will scream and say, it's not Solana, it's the decentralized exchange aggregator, and it's like, yeah, but the problem is that they're all nearly happening on Solana. They're targeting people using Solana because Solana is a scam chain. So, yeah. Once again, make sure to always double and triple check where you're clicking so that your funds are safe. Because, yeah, that's the Jupiter decentralized exchange, something called, Bull Checker. And, yeah. Let's move on. Also in the news, something called Banca Sella, Italy's second oldest bank, wants to offer Bitcoin trading to over 1 million customers. The bank isn't known for chasing trends, so this is quite interesting. Sure, they're releasing it through their mobile app, which sounds like they're really trying to actually chase trends. The name of their app is called Hype. It's literally HY, I think, .pe. That's what it looks like to me, at least on the screen. And they are already beta testing with a small group of their Hype Plus customers. No bank who's not trying to chase trends is going to call anything hype. Soon, every customer within the app will be able to trade Bitcoin. Fantastic. Over the years, a lot of different banks around the world continuously try to either talk negatively about Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency space, and now they're all actually in the space, which also makes it even crazier that we continuously get this news every other daily of a bank, an institution, a company, someone getting into crypto, creating an ETF, you name it, that whole bundle right there. And a lot of people, if not the majority, I mean like the literal majority of people, still are not paying attention, which is just an actual shame. All these banks and these companies and corporations are here to buy Bitcoin for themselves and to have as much Bitcoin as possible because they see where the trend is going. People misconstrue the idea that a bank getting into crypto is like, well, like they're going to be selling it to the public. No, we already have crypto exchanges for that. They know that the average person is probably only going to buy $10, $15, $20, $30 worth of crypto and air quote, see if it grows. These you cannot offer, you as a bank, a company, corporation cannot offer Bitcoin to your clients unless you have been buying Bitcoin yourselves. Nearly every bank on the world owns Bitcoin, has Bitcoin, is hoarding Bitcoin. Remember the news that we got this was months ago, literal months ago. I believe, was it 13 world banks are currently holding Bitcoin and have exposure to Bitcoin ETFs. People keep pretending this isn't happening. And this is why the rich people are going to remain rich and buy up all the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and digital assets and continue to be the richest people for probably all of eternity. Has it ever entered your mind before? You know how there's some families who are worth like $6 billion? I'll even give you a good one. Families that are worth like $25 million. You know that they'll never, ever have to work again. Have you thought about that? And I mean ever. Like they will never, ever in their lives, none of their descendants will ever have to actually work. Ever. Isn't that weird to think about? Yeah. So banks started by offering crypto just to their wealthiest clients. And then I told you 2 years ago that the next step was basically once all their richest clients were full and got what they needed, they would begin to offer crypto and Bitcoin to normal people. And look, that's exactly where we are. Isn't that weird? Yeah. So while the average person in and out of crypto, more so in crypto, continues to ignore everything that's happening and continues to be scared and not pay attention and take their money out of the market and then subsequently throw it back into the market when prices go back up because they're trying to time the market. Yeah. The wealth transfer is happening right in front of us. It's happening all the time. And we'll see exactly where this ends up going. I give it a decade. A lot of people listening to this right now, I hope that you become rich and wealthy. But I know that the majority of you are not paying attention, aren't taking advantage of anything that's happened the last 2 years. So just always remember this news. I didn't mean to have like a downer for the end of the video. But gosh darn it, if you haven't paid attention by now, I cannot help you anymore. Yeah, that's the Banca Sella is going to be offering Bitcoin to people, I guess, eventually. I'm sure we'll hear when it actually ends up happening. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.